Hey everyone, and welcome back to yet another video. And for today's video I'm going to share one more team in the Color Cup for season 14, and this Pokemon is going to be Bruxish. So this is the new release Pokemon for the color celebration over here, and this is I was actually waiting for to get a decent PvP which I have got hold right now, and this Pokemon is actually part water and psychic over here. So I thought, okay, let's use it in the Color Cup because it's like it's featured in that. But being water psychic, it needs coverage for grass, ghost, dark, electric as well, due to which this Pokemon is actually ranked number 137 in the Color Cup meta. But it does not matter that much because how much attack weighted this Bruxish is, because of the raw damage from confusion and the defense drop chance from crunch and psychic fangs is actually really good and do add up on like opponent as well, to which I am going to use a good pairing over here with Trevenant and my K.Ninetales over here that can handle a weaknesses over in this scenario. So without further more delay, let's quickly jump into the battles and check out how this team performed. Moving into the first lead over here along with Pelipper. So Pelipper is actually a very tricky situation to handle because my backline does not have a really good matchup against this, because wing attack and weather ball does hurt both of my Trevenant and my K.Ninetales as well, to which now they safe swaps into their own mud boy over here, being the this Whiskash in this scenario, to which I'll be going for the first seed bomb in this scenario. So they built up to I think nine mud shots, to which they went for a bait of mud bomb, which is really fun because I do give up my first shield over here. Now I'll be going for the next seed bomb that grabs both the shield from my opponent's end, which is really good, but now I have to call it. So I don't want to give both of my shields over here with my Bruxish still being alive, to which now I'll be going for the next seed bomb because they went for a mud bomb bait once again, which is really nice because see, this seed bomb can easily handle the mud boy over here, and the final Pokemon is going to be a Whimsicott. They realize their fate and top lives the game in this scenario. GG's. Moving on to the next battle, I pick up a lead against Venusaur. So Venusaur is again kind of good for my backline, but now they safe swaps into their own Jellicent in this scenario. So for Jellicent, since it's running bubble, it's kind of good for my Trevenant, to which I'll be going for the first crunch, get the first shield, and I'll be switching back into my own Trevenant over in this scenario. It's good that they switched out into their own Jellicent because my Ninetales over here would not appreciate that, to which now after getting the first shield I'll be building up to a bunch of energy, and I'll be going for the next seed bomb that does take out the Jellicent over here, and they again now comes back with their own Venusaur, which is fine because I do have hard-hitting neutral Shadow Ball over here coming through, which does grab the final shield from my opponent's end and annihilating this go, because one Sludge Bomb does not knock me out because it's neutral, and I think they cannot farm me down from this kind of range. Rather, I can go for one more Shadow Ball, which they realize and they threw, which is good because now from this kind of range I can easily come back with my Ninetales and go for the hard farm down. But I thought, okay fine, let's just come back with my Bruxish and get the farm down, to which now the final Pokemon again they have come back with is the Azumarill, which is not a great thing because I do have a Ninetales on the back, to which now I'll be going for the next back-to-back Psychic Fangs. So Psychic Fangs is really good because of the 100% defense drop, so this will hurt this Azumarill a bit, and now I can let this next charge move go through, whether be it Ice Beam or Play Rough, which it is, I can let it go and I can easily come back with my own Ninetales and go for the farm down. So I am quite sure that this is not going to be a Hydro Pump, which I did not take any chances because I do have a really good win condition, to which now I can easily come back. They can easily come back with their own Venusaur, but that won't help because I have got a loaded Weather Ball coming in through, which does get the knockout for the Venusaur and indeed get the win for the second battle here as well. So GG's. Moving into the third battle, I pick up a lead against Trevenant. Beg your pardon, Swampert. So for Swampert, I tried to catch the first Hydro Cannon or maybe the first Earthquake onto my own Trevenant, which I was not good at, but still they went for the resisted Earthquake that does so much damage. And now from that kind of scenario, they comes back with their own Abubasno right now. So I thought, okay, so since it's Abubasno right over here, it might be a double grass in the back line. So I thought, so if it is a double grass over here, I do have a really good win condition with my Ninetales if I am having shield advantage. And if you notice that I am actually running Psyshock onto my Ninetales and not Overheat, because that gives me a bit of consistent and good matchup in case of neutral situations like Swampert or maybe Toxapex that does take super effective from this psychic Psyshock. To which I'll be saving up my shields for my own Ninetales later, because this Weather Ball does do add up, but I can easily get the farm down, and now they comes back with their own Swampert over here. So I have to shield up this because one Hydro Cannon will easily be overkill for me right now. So I shield up and I'll be going for the next Psyshock. So they will be thinking that okay, this might be a Weather Ball, so it will not knock me out, but I went for a Psyshock, and quickly I'll be switching back into my own Bruxish over here to get this snipe down with Confusion. The final Pokemon is actually going to be a Galvantula, but not a grass, but since it's part bug, I do have a win condition over here. So I'll be shielding up this first lunge over here, and I'll be going for the back-to-back Psychic Fangs over here, and since then the Galvantula is quite fragile, it will be giving up the final shield, and I can easily get the farm down with Confusion, getting the win for this battle here as well. So Bruxish is doing a good amount of job in this scenario also, which is really good. To which now, moving into the next battle, I pick up a lead against Shadow Kingdra over here. So this is really rough because my backline does not do good against Kingdra, neither do my Bruxish do good against it, because this Dragon Breaths do add up really quickly. And now I'll be forced to shield up this next Outrage, which is really good. But now since they went for the Outrage, I can easily get the Heart Farm down onto this Kingdra for quite a bit of hefty energy right now. So I'll be going for the first Shadow Ball onto this Toxapex, and that hits for a good amount of neutral damage in this scenario. So I'll be going for one more Shadow Ball because I built up to so much energy farming down the Kingdra, and they can eventually farm me down with the Poison Jabs over here. To which I can now easily come back with my own Bruxish, because I want to not Bruxish, my Ninetales, because I want to soak some amount of damage onto my Ninetales over here, because Brine does not hits very hard, and the final Pokemon is going to be a Ferrothorn. So Ferrothorn's worst nightmare is Ninetales over here, to which now I'll be going for the next Weather Ball that they lets it go, and it does so much damage, to which now I'll be shielding up this next Power Whip. Though I could have survived that as well, but since I do have shield and I recognize my win condition, I can easily come back with my Bruxish, get the Confusion down onto this Toxapex and get the win. GG's. Moving on to the next battle, I pick up a very rough lead over here with this Lanturn in this scenario. Lanturn is very hard to handle over in the for this team, because my Bruxish and my Ninetales do really bad onto this because it have access to Surf and Thunderbolt, to which I thought of catching a move onto my Trevenant that works out really well, which I am fine with, to which now their response is going to be their Alolan Marowak over here, to which now I'll be going for the next bait move of Seed Bomb that does give me the first shield from my opponents, and now I am shielding up this Bone Club also. So because I can reach to the next Shadow Ball, but before that they went for their Bone Club, which is quite rough because I gave up one shield, but from this kind of range I'm in a tough situation because I have to somehow keep my Ninetales away from that quite healthy Lanturn over here, which I do get the farm down over here now onto my own Bruxish in this scenario, onto this Alan Marowak, to which the final Pokemon is again going to be the Ferrothorn, to which now I'll be quickly switching back into my own Ninetales, and they were kind of slow to switch back into their own Lanturn in this scenario. So Lanturn does have access to serve, but Ninetales being quite on the bulkier side can handle one serve, which does take out the Lanturn with the Psyshock over here, and the final Pokemon they have is again going to be the Ferrothorn. So Ferrothorn will be going for one more Power Whip, which I'll shield up because I have a loaded Wither Ball, Fire Wither Ball coming through to this Ferrothorn, which does ensure the knockout and the win for this battle here also. GG's. So now moving into the next battle, I pick up a lead against Trevenant. So as soon as I felt it's a Trevenant, I thought this is the core coming up, which is going to be Trevenant and Toxapex, which is really tough to handle with this glassy team. But since I have got a bit of good response for my Trevenant, and here comes the Toxapex over here. So I was quite right, but since I'm running Weather Ball and Psyshock, I do have a chance to hit this Toxapex quite for a bit of damage, to which I'll be going for the first Psyshock over here, which does not do too much damage because how bulky Toxapex is, and I can easily go for the next Psyshock once again. So Psyshock will not be enough to get the knockout for it, but rather I can easily get a bit of farm onto my incoming Bruxish over here. But since I have got one shield, which is fine, but now I have to come back with my Bruxish in this scenario, to which I'll be letting this next charge move go through once again, which ends up being the Sludge Wave, which I am fine with, but my win condition over here is going to be my Trevenant over here, to which now they swaps out into their final Pokemon, which is revealed to be a Galvantula, which is not a great thing for me because these Seed Bombs are resisted and they will be going for lunges over here, and since it's my final Pokemon, I cannot reset it as also. To which now I have to go for back-to-back Seed Bombs to get the knockout for this Galv over here, but their Trevenant is already energy dry because they threw the first Shadow Ball. But since I am up ahead on health, but my attack is lowered, I do have a better 50-50 chance to get the win, or might be I can easily get the farm down over here after going for the next Seed Bomb. So this Seed Bomb coming in, so they shielded the first next Seed Bomb over here, and now I'll be shielding up their Seed Bomb. And since my attack is dropped, so I don't have enough HP and I don't do enough damage onto the opposing Trevenant, which ends up being a very close battle over here, and GG's to opponent. Well played. Moving on to the next battle, and which will be the final battle of the video. Over here I pick up a lead against Trevenant once again. So I thought of catching one Seed Bomb onto my Ninetales once again, which I fail. But now since they again went back into their Toxapex, I thought of, okay, since they got into their Toxapex, I will be going for back-to-back Psyshock over here from this kind of range, because this Toxapex is quite defense fitted and they does not do enough damage with the poison jabs over here. So I went for back-to-back Psyshocks, which put the Toxapex in quite a bit of farm down range with my Bruxish, which is really good because now I can easily come back with my Bruxish and go for one Confusion, and I have to shield up because how squishy Bruxish is. So I have to shield up, even if it's a brine, I have to shield up, and I can go for the hefty farm down. And let's see what they now comes back in with. So they comes back in with their own I forgot this Pokemon's name. It's a Victini. Yeah, it's Victini. So I got the first shield from my opponent's end with the Psychic Fangs, and now I can easily go for the next Crunch over here. So if it lands, I'll be quickly safe swiping again into my own Trevenant, and because they're energy dry and they are low on health, I can easily get the win over here, which they recognize and top lifts the game over here. So this team handled a super strong core of Toxapex and Trevenant over here. So that's really good. So some final conclusions and comments onto this Bruxish over here. It have got a really hard-hitting moveset. Not hard-hitting, but it's a spammy moveset rather of Confusion and Psychic Fangs along with Crunch. But it's very squishy. So since it is very attack weighted, it does hits very hard. So if you are trying out this team, do let me know how it is working out for you. And that will be all for this video. See you again in the next one. Till then, peace.